Hello and welcome to our special character creation video for Avowed. We're just going to create a character. My understanding is there's little in the way of like stats that you tend to in character creation, but a lot of it's sort of, visual, right? So we'll pick something and we'll customize. We got a lot of presets, right? Let's see. We can toggle armor to what end? Okay. Just got the underoos. Gotcha. Can rotate the camera? Oh, and zoom in as well. Ooh, zoom in a lot. Okay, sure. Change view? Oh, okay, just a toggle. Okay, which you can play this game in first person, I believe. Actually, you know what? I should probably move around my little image here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should probably move that around for this. Let's see, is it all going to be... Yeah, it's all going to be right there. Okay. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me just go over this way. Yep. And then, can I transform and then do a flip? Yeah, flip. Get ready for this. Vertical? No! That's not right at all! Okay, hang on. Oh god, we took a trip through Barath's wheel and came out a little funky on the other side. That's some deep Pillars lore for those Pillars heads out there. Okay, we keep our ear close to the Audra here. All right, let's see. There we are. I'm in mirror mode. Okay. There we are. So, look, you take what you can get. Face cam, we're gonna have to be covering up some of this. Alright, but we can get a look over here. Okay. So, like they had mentioned, we are a godlike in this world, which that manifests itself physically on your character, on your being, on your person. Godlikes can be of any species in the game, any race. There are many. By the end of my Pillars of Eternity playthrough, I came to really enjoy Orlin, but as far as I know, you can only play as a godlike who is sourced from human or elf, or maybe even half-elf, but I'm not sure. But regardless, in our playthrough of Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, I was a half-elf, I think, or maybe a full elf. I can't even remember. It's been so long. Okay, but yeah, as you can see, there are varying degrees to which... Oh. Confirm override. Are you sure you want to override your customization and use a preset? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, as you can see, the signifiers of you being godlike can be both quite small or quite significant, right? Which, I don't know, that looks kind of wild, but kind of like a cool wild? I don't know. Okay. But yeah, different gods sort of have different ways, or I don't know, different aesthetics, I guess, different theming based around the god, right? Now, also, but as we cover this, I should probably mention this in the full forward video. I am going to be talking in this playthrough as if we have all played Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, right? So that way, you know, if there's information that you're not privy to and you would like to know it, I'm your guy. I remember a decent amount of Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. Like I said, it's probably just going to be necessary for the purposes of world building and, like, greater lore. I'm assuming this is not directly connected to those events. Otherwise, this would be called Pillars of Eternity 3. However, if you don't want any spoilers for the events of Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, you should probably play those games before watching this, or watch me play them, as old as those videos are and as bad as the microphone is. You should watch me play them. But nonetheless, here we will be talking as if we're all on sort of the same, operating from the same basis of encyclopedic knowledge about Pillars of Eternity. And my understanding is they have a pretty thorough bit of, what would you call it? In-game encyclopedia, where, like, highlighted words, you can click on them and find out more, which was present in Pillars. Anyway, let's just have a look here through all of them. Yeah, as you can see, some are a lot more subtle, right? Others, super wild. Okay. I wonder what the extent is to which you can do it. Huh. So no matter what, we are of the Aediran Empire, right? We don't get, like, to choose our background in the sense that, like, we could be from the Valian Trading Company, or the Valian Republic, I think it is, or from Rauatai. We can't be from Deadfire. We can't be from, like, the Deerwood. Okay. Maybe we start from this as a base? I kind of like this, right? I don't know if I want the whole huge head situation going on, but I kind of like where we're starting at here, maybe. I don't know. This one is also speaking to me. Admittedly, part of the reason why they may be speaking to me is because we start off with some wild stuff coming out of our face, right? I like that. Like, if I'm gonna be a godlike, maybe I just want to go all in. And as the opening sort of alluded to, there are definitely people who suffer ill fates because of their sort of the way in which they exemplify their godlike status and which god it is, of which they have seemingly no choice, right? For example, if you are a death godlike, it doesn't matter how nice of a person you may be, people are gonna think you're just a sicko, right? Especially if it's very obvious that you are a death godlike. Okay, so let's go to... yeah, we'll start from this person. You hail from the Aediran Empire, one of the world's major colonial powers. And if, general viewer, if you're watching this and you're wondering, do they get into any of this? Any of this in the greater lore? They absolutely do. A lot of the initial world building for Pillars of Eternity 1 is like a shocking amount of history about colonial forces sort of occupying a land, being forced out, and then coming back, and sort of the aftermath of a lot of that. Like, there is so much lore here. It's like probably one of my favorite newer fantasy worlds, right? Pillars of Eternity, Aeora is the planet Aeora, the land, I guess. Anyway, Aedir is a nation forged by centuries of war between neighboring human and elven kingdoms, and formed by their eventual alliance. Your emperor chose you to journey to the living lands to investigate the Dream Scourge. Okay. And I can't remember, are there any people native to the living lands? I want to say that there's like a decent dwarf population, like nomadic dwarf groups. Maybe. There may be, are Orlans originally from the living lands? I don't know if they are. I know that the population of the living lands, because it's so like, it's such a wild place, that there's very few kith or mortals. Kith are mortals in this world, like playable, I don't know, races that you could theoretically play as in a Pillars of Eternity game, at least. Referred to as kith. Okay, should we be human or elven? Let's go with elven. Skin tone. Okay. I don't know, I kind of like what we've got. We can change the temperature here. Maybe we'll get a little temperate. Yeah, I kind of like this. Okay. Preset colors? Oh, so you can't go wrong with a preset. Okay. Maybe we go right there. We can adjust that. We can come back to that if necessary. Face preset. Let's see. Is there an undo button, though? Okay, you know what? Maybe my godlike features, I need to dial them down a bit. Okay, godlike features actually has flavor text here. Oh, I'm covering some of it. I'll move myself. You are a godlike, a rare individual born blessed or cursed with a connection to one of the gods. Godlike manifest... Hang on, I'm gonna change my volume on my end. It's getting a little too emotional here with this wild music. With a connection to one of the gods. Godlike manifests their divine heritage in unique physical features and innate abilities that reflect their patron deity. Different cultures may view them with suspicion, reverence, or curiosity. Right, this is something that Pillars of Eternity, or Aora, I guess, does, in my opinion, exceptionally well, is sort of delineating a fine line between, like, okay, sure, you may be of this race, you, like, a human, an Orlin, an elf, an Almaoan walk into a bar, and they may all be of one culture, whereas someone else could come into the bar of the same race as them, but they may be from a different culture, and that is, in past games, that was relevant, right? They did a good job, like I said, delineating differences and all that. Anyway, strangely enough, many of the godlike have disappeared from the world in recent years, but you have not. Stranger still, you have never learned which god touched your soul. Oh, wow. Many of the godlike have disappeared from the world in recent years? Huh. I'm guessing that's because of what happened at the end of Deadfire, right? Recent years? Because I don't remember that being the case or touched on in Pillars 1 or 2. Yeah, that may be ramifications from the events at the end of Deadfire, which... Okay, at the end of Deadfire, Barat's Wheel, the sort of like reincarnation that exists in this world, was broken. And not a lot of people know about it, right? It was broken at the end of that game. No matter what, it gets broken by another god. Okay. Display godlike facial features in-game. NPCs will still react to your godlike features. I guess in this sense you could use it to, like, roleplay, you know, I've got, like, godlike features elsewhere in my body that aren't visible, right? Like, my hands could have, like, feathers on them if I were, Ilian, you know? Which is another deity within this world. Okay. Let's see. Well, I do actually want it, but I want to know to which end, or to what end. Godlike hair features. Oh, so you can pick and choose. Holy hell. Okay, let's turn off, or tune down the facial situation. And let's look at the hair here. Holy hell. Okay. Okay. Man, that's kind of wild. Alright, how about my regular hair? Should I just go, like, full-on bald? God, yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Okay. I mean, are there any others that it looks good with? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the clipping. Right, I would probably turn off the godlike hair in that case. And I don't know if I want to. Ooh, look at that. That looks kind of cool without the hair. Look at that. That's kind of neat. If you want, if that's your cup of tea, right? Okay. Yeah, I want to be some version of bald. Or have very, very little hair. Right? Can I just have, like, little seedlings? That's probably the closest I can get to just seedlings. Okay. I'm just going full-on bald as hell. Okay. There we are. Sure. And let's look at the other hair feature. Oh, man. Oh, man, the eyes come through? Oh, that looks like some nasty old bread. Ooh, man. That has been there for a while. Oh, man. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the big... Ooh, man, those two go together really well. The big mystery here, which I think it alluded to in the opening, is that nobody knows... Like, there is no apparent godlike that features shroomages like this. Right? Or nature, I guess, as it were. Well, nature, yeah, there's like... what's their name? Galwayne? Galamain? Glasgow? I forget. The one with the G. And the dogs. It's been a while. Okay. How about that? I don't know. I don't really like the facial features, but man, I love the wild hair situation. Ooh, it comes out of the back a bit too there. Nah, I think this is the way to go. This is so wild. I like this. This speaks to me. And then we'll have like regular human facial hair, I think. What can we do? I can have an enormous, ridiculous mustache. I could get the Harrier Dubois special. Let's see. Some of this, that. How much of a beard situation do I want? Shockingly, there is no, like, goatee. Right? Isn't that a pretty common option in games? To just be a person with a goatee? I think maybe we go clean-shaven. Maybe we go clean-shaven for real. Toggle armor? Okay, we're wearing some underoos. Okay. Set head hair root color. Okay, well, I don't really have any. Is this changing anything with my eyebrows? Don't think so. Facial hair. Highlight color. Yeah, I don't know that that is actually changing anything with my eyebrows. It may be just under hair. I don't think that's changing anything either. Hair highlight? Yeah, my eyebrows are not altering whatsoever. Okay. Sure. Let's see. Now, that one right there is probably my fave. Okay. Sure. Good, and we can also... Yeah, we can shape our facial features to some degree. Which, like I said, I don't think it's terribly important in this game. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll go up a bit. Eye spread. Like that. Eye depth. Okay, eye angle. I see. Okay, size. We'll amp up the size a bit, I think. Both eye colors. Keep it like brown. Okay. Can get some heterochromia going on. Brow properties. Okay. Brow size. Sure. I don't know. Where it was pretty good. Brow position. That was alright. Okay. I don't like how often it zooms in and out here, especially because it's such high sensitivity. Okay. There we are. Brow depth. Keep it about there, I think. And angle. I wish I could change more about the eyebrows. Maybe I'll be able to. Oh, eyebrow color. Okay. Sure. Gotcha. Okay. Can I change the eyes more? I want this dude to look sad. I love making characters who are sad. Okay. Okay, there we are. Brown nose. How do I want the nose to be? Nose size. Is that just overall? Okay. Let's have a bit of a larger one. Position. I feel like position was right. Depth. Oh, that's pretty good, I think. I don't want too little depth, but can get a little bit lower. Okay. How about this? I do love that we're starting in this sort of like royal purple garb. Though it may also be blue, right? It may be purple on the right here and then kind of indigo on the left. On our left. Right? But it is especially involving like a godlike who is like a black person. I cannot help but think of and be reminded of one of my all-time faves from Pillars of Eternity, Pallegina. Oh my god. I almost always kept her in party because, holy cow, paladin. Really, really powerful. And not a half-bad story to boot. I think her and Adair never really left my party. And of course, who didn't like Adair? Let's see here. How about nose root width? Root? You mean that's on my head? That's on my hair. Oh, I see. Okay. Keep it about there. Seems good. Tip direction. Keep it right there a bit. Okay. Face shape. Cheek position. Okay, that seems good. Cheek width. Seems alright. Depth. It's hilarious how much we're doing in this for... I assume we're not going to see it very often. Okay. Jaw position. Okay, right there like that. Jaw spread. I've never heard it referred to as spread. Okay. Is that good? We'll go down 10%. Jaw depth. Oh, depth from back there, I see. How does it look from this angle? Oh, it's like impossible to tell how it looks from that angle. Okay, keep it about there. Chin properties. Chin size. Oh my gosh, okay. I think we'll keep it at neutral. Position. It was like comically enormous. Okay, yeah, I think about neutral is fine. Chin depth. Okay, yeah, we'll have it forward a bit, right? Or maybe like that. Yeah, maybe we bring it back a little bit. I either want it forward a bit or back a bit. Yeah, you know what? Right there. Okay. Mouth. Fullness, mouth properties. Calling it properties is so wild to me. Okay. About right there. Width. Okay. I think about where it was fine. Position. I think also this was about fine. Depth. How does that look from the front? Okay. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Can we adjust width anymore? How is it? Let's experiment around here a bit. That. Okay, pretty good. Ears. Size, and we are an elf. So we get the... Yeah, aside from the ears and them being slightly, on average, more lithe and smaller than humans, I think there's really no differential between elves and humans. Right, physically speaking. How big do I want these? Maybe I want them big. You know what? That's good. Can I make them more sharp? Or is this a... Whoa, I can really send them up there. Okay, I think right about there is good. That way my tree branches look nice. I kind of want everything else to sort of accentuate the incredible tree branch situation on the top. Right? Everything else is like in service of showing off how fucking rad all that looks up top. Okay. Like, I think that's one of my determinations in not having facial hair on this character, is I want the attention to be drawn maybe to the eyes first, but definitely, if not first to the godlike hair, secondarily to the godlike hair. Ear depths, we can have them poke out if we want. We'll keep them close. Okay. Complexion. What does this mean? Well, on my graphics setting, this is nearly imperceptible. It is incredibly slight. I think I can just barely make out, like, some amount of facial hair change. I'm not sure at all. Yeah, I am having an incredibly difficult time telling. Okay. Oh, complexion color. Maybe it's because I'm matching my skin tone here. Let's see if I do. Oh, okay. I see. So you can have stuff like, yeah, various forms of, like, freckles. You can have, what's it called? Vitiligo, I think. Is that how you say that? Some type of... I'm not sure. Is this acne or is this, like, something else? Maybe this is, like, godlike stuff, too? I guess you could construe it as whatever you damn well want it to be. Right? Okay, how about this? And then turn down the amount a bit. And then, what if I send it to, like, really dark? No. Well, it kind of comes through there. Okay. It's difficult to see, though. I'll be the first to admit that. Damn, okay, looking kind of fucking good. Let's see. Should I change my skin tone any to where the like freckles or whatever pop more? Let's see. Skin tone. Does the temperature make them pop any better or differently? I don't think so. No, not really. Can we not change the color of any of this? Like, up here, this is kind of flesh tone inside of our, like, godlike hair. I don't think we can change the color of any of that, right? Yeah. Okay, what if I try to match my skin tone to that and make it almost seem flesh-like in nature, right? Because we're not far off right now, right? Like, if I kind of go, like, right about here, like, slightly lighter, and if I change the temperature around, is that good? That might be good. Let's see, darken a bit. Okay. Sure. Oh, whoops, we're in background. Whoa, I didn't know we could do such a thing. Okay, can I change around the eyes? Can I give myself even sadder looking eyes? I want to look like I have, like, a real horrible situation inside of my mind, right? I want to look like I got something going on in there that ain't good. All right, something bad happened. Nah, I think that was appropriate there. Spread was at -10. Yeah, I think that's still good. Position. Okay, how about the brow? Okay, that's actually good. Let's shrink the eye size a little bit now, too. Okay. Sorry, we are just adjusting things willy-nilly. I feel like maybe smaller brow size lends itself to more sadness. No? Okay, spread. Angle. Okay, let's bring it up a little bit. Okay, let's adjust the eyes again. Decrease the spread, increase the size a bit. Change the angle some more, maybe. What I want to change, like, the lower part of the eye socket too, because we could get so much more sadness in on this person's face by just adjusting that lower part. I think, sort of like the upper cheek, lower eye socket area. I think we could get a whole lot more sadness. I like I said, it's not that type of game where that is really necessary. But I think maybe this is we got some sadness going on, right? We've got some sadness. Okay. Let's see. Complexion, we've dealt with that. Lips. Oh, like lipstick and extra? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. So do we want to have, like, any slight difference at all? Already by default, it's pretty good, I think. Amount. I see. Yeah, I don't want actual lipstick, but I do think we could make it look... We could, like, make it pop a bit more. right? By sort of picking a color that's not too dissimilar from skin tone, right? Yeah, there we are. Keep the shine at neutral because I think fully -100 is like matte lipstick, and then fully 100 positive is like glossier, right? Maybe do we want a little bit in one direction or the other? Yeah, we'll do a little bit in one direction or the other. Okay. That looks pretty good, I think. Also, what would help, I can't really adjust the corners of mouth, can I? To where, like, I make the mouth look even sadder, right? You have, like, a permanent sad crying face. That's always a winner in games, I think, if you're wanting to make a character look just really, really depressed all the time. Which, you know, that's like my go-to in any From Software game, is to just have my character look really sad. Okay. I think that's good. Facial scars. Do we want any? This, I worry, like I said, may detract from our sweet hairdo. You know? Our sweet godlike hair. Do I want any? Ew, get some, like, wild burn mark, I think. We could do something very, very simple. Right? Like, I don't want it to be too noteworthy to where, like I said, once again, I don't want it to detract from the godlike hair. I'm not even sure what this one is. Hard to tell. Oh, I see. Okay. Can really see a lot better with that. Oh, there it is. Okay, on the left side. Our left. About like that. Do I like that? I kind of like having this scarring being near the godlike hair, you know? I kind of like that. That said, the, like, scratch is pretty cool, too. Yeah, we'll go with that right there. Just like that. Okay, good. Eyeliner. Do I want any? I don't think so. I mean, we could use some to, like, accentuate what's there, and we just don't treat it like actual makeup, right? Can't really tell the difference there. Let's see. Yeah, holy hell, I can't really tell at all. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's unnecessary. Not for this character. We don't want it. Okay. How about just makeup? Which usually means, like, this type of makeup, you know, like face paints and little like tattoos and stuff like that. Do I want any? I don't know. Whoa. Is that meant to be like very Odd-Nuan? Is that meant to evoke Odd-Nua? Like Aethys' most recent incarnation? Okay. Oh, this is definitely Aethasian, right? Ooh, that's cool. Oh, but it conflicts with our godlike hair. Can I change where it's at? I don't think so. Yeah, because if it's anywhere, it should be right there. Oh, man. That's like the equivalent of in an Elder Scrolls game playing as a Dunmer with the sort of Hand of Almalexia face tattoo. Right? This is the rough equivalent. How about that? We could, oh yeah, you could do some like 2D facial hair. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. Good amount. Let's dial it up a bit. Sure. Okay. I don't see any way to like make yourself look older though. Right? Like there's complexion here, but I don't see anything for like age. Right? I think the best you can do is have like graying facial hair and like standard hair. Right? Because I would love to add some more age onto this person, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Right? I don't think that's happening. At least as best I can tell. Maybe one of these is that, but I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so at all. Unless it's like facial scars. Yeah, I have facial scars. It's called being old. I don't think that, yeah, I don't think that is what that is at all. Okay. Yeah. God, do I want this though? Oh man. That's really cool. But I would have to get rid of my cool godlike hair, which is extremely good. Right? And like kind of the basis by which I built out the rest of the character. Right? Yeah, I think we'll just be as is. I'd imagine a lot of these are also lore relevant. And I just can't remember them. Right? But man, I see that. I remember that dude looking at me. I remember that. Whew. Okay. Why don't you step on a Cadnua or two? Okay, let's see over here. Background. Select background. Arcane Scholar, Court Augur, Noble Scion, Vanguard Scout, War Hero. Oh, okay. So we do actually have some amount of background control here. Your background provides unique dialogue options and determines your starting weapon. All equipment and abilities are available to you regardless of your background. After graduating with honors from Bragan Hill Academy, I think that's, I don't think I've heard of that before. It's not ringing any bells. Probably Aediran Empire Deep Lore, which in Pillars 1 and 2, you never go to the Aediran Empire. You definitely feel their influence, but you never go there. You published a treatise on soul lineages that threatened the legitimacy and drew the ire of a local lord. Right, soul lineages in the sense of Barras Wheel, reincarnation, you could track down, because there are people in this world who study souls as a science, right? People know that reincarnation exists here. There are people who study it and who can wield it as a sort of science, and it is referred to as animancy, and it is a big damn deal. I would imagine we will encounter animancers in this game, right? God, I hope so. But, right, you could theoretically trace, you know, if someone has the money and wealth, you could trace down like, okay, yeah, you are from this, this is your soul throughout the ages and you have always been in this position or whatever, right? And depending on your culture, maybe you should always be in that position. All right. When he had you arrested, the Emperor intervened and recruited you into the archives of the Imperial Court. Your mind is a bottomless well of occult knowledge, legal precedent, historical observation, and poetry. You've forgotten more than most people ever learn. That sounds fun. Court Augur. When your village's crops failed, your strange insights and unsettling manner earned your neighbor's suspicion. Yo, what are we going full Saint Widewin here? Are we going Widewin with this? You foresaw... Sorry. Okay, so Saint Widewin, Aethys, was one of the major deities within Pillars of Eternity, within Aeora. Aethys... You know what? I won't talk about it here. We should save this for the actual playthrough video. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting way too carried away. I'm loving this. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be back. Let's see. When you foresaw the torches and pitchforks and fled to High Crown, where the Emperor recognized your talents and elevated you from back alley fortune teller to his personal mystic. You've learned how to wield power from the shadows. All it takes is a dash of influence and a pinch of deception. Noble Scion. You were born to a noble house of great influence, middling wealth, and questionable morals. When scandals and succession disputes saw your family cast down, you threw yourself on the Emperor's mercy, and he shielded you. Canny yet refined, you have become a formidable force at court, an invaluable ally to the Emperor. Vanguard Scout. Born to humble beginnings and driven to desperation by famine. Okay, this could also be very Saint Widewin, to be fair. Your life was destined to end on the executioner's block until the Emperor spared you. You're more at ease in the wilderness than in court, but your cleverness and observant nature have made you one of the Emperor's most trusted operatives. Whether tracking prey or spying on enemies, your skills are put to work both inside and outside of the throne room. War hero. You distinguished yourself on the field of battle, fighting a violent Skainite uprising. Yeah, I mentioned during the opening, Woodica was there with Skane, surprisingly, like, lurking and staying there for a very long time. Just a very quick summation, and frankly, not doing a full service to Skane. Skane is one of the deities within Aeora. And they are sort of the patron saint, I say that, maybe not fully accurate, but they are like the god of the oppressed, so to speak. They're the god of the enslaved, right? Slavery does exist within this world. Orlans, a race which I believe we will encounter fully, but we cannot play as them in this game, were historically and currently subjected to slavery. The Skane presents himself as sort of, like I said, what would you say, uplifting those who are in such a situation, but doing it incredibly violently, right? Not just like, oh yeah, obviously you're justified in taking violence to these people because they enslaved you and subjugated you, right? But sometimes it takes something from you too, right? To like broker for that freedom. Sometimes there is a price you pay if you are that individual who has been like subjugated. In that sense, Skane demands something of you. And also, it's like the violence and the horror of it is ratcheted up to like 11, right? Skane is almost, like, don't get me wrong, it is a good idea, obviously, for if you are enslaved to seek that freedom and whatnot. But the way in which they have narratively built Skane as like an entity in the world is sort of like, I don't know, subverting your expectations to be like, oh yeah, of course the god who is benevolent toward people who are enslaved, who are otherwise subjugated against their will. Of course they would be good. When they wrote this, whoever it is that was responsible thought, how can we make this to where they don't just automatically seem like a goodly force? We want to spin it to where they stop at nothing. That Skane is... I don't even know how best to describe it. Is so twisted and violent, right? The cost of your uprising at from Skane is so ridiculous that me saying it here, it sounds rough, but exploring it within like the story and all of that, the cost of it is ridiculous to where like you are offered an easy, not even an easy out, right? It doesn't even on that surface just come to you instantly, right? You can't just pray to Skane and guaranteed boom, bang, bosh, you get freedom or whatever, right? It doesn't work like that. But if you are afforded the opportunity, it is super fucked up. And not just for whoever was subjugating you against your will, right? Obviously, they deserve hell. But also, it takes something of you. Also, right, you lose a part of yourself to Skane in the process, right? It's difficult to explain, and I don't remember the exact what would you call it? Details of it. But rest assured, they've written it in such a way to where it walks such a curious line. It is so fascinating to me, and you can, of course, you have run-ins with this god, actually to fairly small degrees relative to the others. Also, not every god is openly like screwed up, right? Not all of them are screwed up, but certainly Skane is generally regarded by a lot of people as like fearsome. And it is kind of good that, like, you know, the god of the repressed, of the oppressed, be kind of terrifying. But it's not just like, yeah, in the way that you would think, but it is like they are genuinely like a terrifying, sinister, conniving force, right? Like I said, it is in some ways self-destructive. And I think you could really run into issues writing a being like that, but they really get away with it, I thought, at least in Pillars 1 and 2. And just as I had alluded to, there are gods and goddesses and whatnot who are more benevolent. There are ones who are more like screwed up like this, like Woodica, for instance, who is, for the most part, seen as like such a massive hard ass, right? Maybe you're the most, I don't know, generous way of describing Woodica, who we saw in the opening cinematic at the end with Skane sort of behind her, is most aptly described as being, and most generously described as being a hard ass, right? Otherwise, quite wild. Oh, and before I forget, we should really mention this in like the main video, but the gods in this universe, in Aora, are all people. They are all people who have ascended to godhood, and nobody knows it. Almost nobody knows it. These are all just regular people from ancient times who remember animants, who remember soul magic. They invested loads of research into this, sacrificed loads of mortals, loads of kith to meet these ends, to where they have become sort of like, they were nobility at the time, so to speak. In many cases, they were nobility. It's very difficult to just, like, lump it all together. Like I said, it's really good stuff, and it's so dense. But many of them were nobility, or at the very least, needed to have a bunch of people sacrificed in their name to power them up, so to speak, in order to reach the status of godhood, right? And like I said, almost nobody in the world knows this. So much so that I wonder how much it will even factor into this, right? I wonder how much it will even factor into this game. God, I love that we're back. We're so back, baby. We're so back. All right, what do I want, though? I think I want either Court Augur or Arcane Scholar, right? I love the idea of both of these because I want to have, like, if we are getting dialogue options, I want ones like this. I want ones tied to the world, so to speak. Occult knowledge, historical observation, poetry. God, do I want Court Augur? Or Arcane Scholar? Oh, man, this is tough. You learned how to wield power from the shadows. I don't know if that's us. I don't know if we're wielding power from the shadows, but I do like that we have a bunch of information, right? I do like that because I kind of have a bunch of information about the world, you know? And a lot of people will be getting into this who never played the CRPGs whatsoever. Okay. Oh, man. We've got the old attribute system. Does it function the same as it used to? God, yeah, it does. Okay. Once again, we have to talk a little bit about the beauty of the attribute system in Pillars of Eternity, in Aora, apparently, because they've carried it over in some capacity to here. In effect, a lot of these stats are kind of useful for everyone, right? That was sort of at the core design principle for building out the world, is that might, on the surface, and they did struggle with how best to represent it. And true enough, developers have gone on record saying, I believe, that maybe calling it might and maybe having it be like this pumping fist or whatever, maybe isn't the best idea for it. But regardless, the intent is that it's just good for damage on everybody, right? Everybody does more damage. If you are a wizard, you could be a mighty wizard, right? In the sense that your spells are mighty. You could be someone who wields a, arquebus, and you are a mighty shot with it, right? You wield a mighty arquebus, and it does a lot of damage. You are a warrior or something, right? Running up with a two-handed hammer or whatever, and you have a lot of might behind your blows, right? It is viable for everybody, right? There is ideally, from the onset, there is ideally no stat that is bad for a character class, which I don't think character classes exist here. Oh, see it in a little bit. Okay. But yeah, there seem to be no class. I'm guessing it's a little bit more freeform, akin to Elder Scrolls, I think. I don't know, we'll have to see. I think that's what I've heard. But the idea is that you have a baseline set of classes and whatnot that you pick, and the idea was you could build out a character who specializes in, for instance, you're a priest, but you have really high dex. There would be a way in which you could play those stats with that class, and you could be like a gun-toting priest. And in fact, in the lore, there exists, I don't know what you would call it, a cult, a lineage, a belief, a church, I guess, a belief wherein there's a bunch of priests, and you have one as a follower in Pillars 1, a horrible bastard, but priests who are renowned for guns, right? These are priests who are known for having like huge rifles for like making weapons. They have a church wherein they like build gunpowder, guns, and all of that stuff, right? It's really wild. I think they are like Wodekin, right? If I remember correctly, aren't they? I think so. And like to have a good gun or whatever it's almost 40k in nature, right? Warhammer 40k in nature. But of course, you would want someone who has high action speed because this is flintlock fantasy, so reloading takes a hot minute, right? So in Pillars, you would either like speed that up with spell effects or baseline decks or both. You could also have like different loadouts that you could swap between weapon sets. So you could, this is what my character did. I used dual pistols, and I had like multiple sets of dual pistols, and I would fire off both of them, and I would swap to the next one, fire those off, and then swap to the third one, fire those off, and then go back to the initial one and actually reload and make use of those, right? Which would allow for a really high damage alpha strike to where you could wipe out like multiple targets at first, or a really high important target with that sort of alpha strike, a high damage alpha strike. And that would be viable because, you know, rather than having to rely on crowd control, you would just blitz them down as quick as possible. What I want to know is, can I respec this? I have glanced at some of the like talents and stuff, which is why I think like there are like 3 classes, so to speak, and it's kind of loosey-goosey. Let's just read through these real quick. Might. A character's physical and spiritual strength, yeah, like I said. Brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. Increases your damage from all sources. Also increases your carry capacity, which is the amount of weapons and armor you can carry before becoming encumbered. Great all-around choice for dealing more damage. Constitution. A combination of the character's overall health and endurance increases your max HP and your resistance to the poisoned and bleeding statuses. Improves survivability for players who like to be in the fray. Dexterity. A character's hand-eye coordination, balance, and overall grace increases your attack speed, weapons and abilities, as well as your action speed. Equips, consumable use, parkour, which of course is new here, and reload speed. Good for builds where mobility and the flexible use of your arsenal is key. Perception. A character's senses, as well as their instinctive ability to pick up on details, increases your crit hit chance and your max range for weapons. Wands, guns, and bows will be more effective at longer distances. Ideal for rangers and casters who favor ranged weapons. But once again, similarly, it includes crit hit chance. So if you're like, I want to say I would assume you could have like a dagger-based build or whatever in this, and you would benefit from having higher perception because you would have a higher baked-in crit hit chance, right? Intellect. A character's logic and reasoning capabilities increases your maximum essence and your resistance to the ignited, shocked, and frozen statuses. Great for wizards who focus on spell casting, which this is a bit different. I'm not familiar with... Yeah, Pillars of Eternity did not use an essence nor a stamina system. It was almost entirely like cooldown based because it was meant to be very evocative of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, right? Real time with pause CRPGs on the Infinity engine. It was meant to be a direct sort of, I don't know, continuation, or it was like recognizing the idea that was and sort of continuing it forward, right? That was the sort of idea behind it. A character's logic and reasoning capabilities increases your max essence and your resistance to the ignited, shocked, and frozen statuses. Resolve. A character's internal drive, determination, and fearlessness increases your max stamina and the frequency and efficiency of second wind. When taking lethal damage, you will fight off death more frequently and jump back in with more health. Good for warriors who need to swing heavy weapons and survive big hits. Okay. Can I just reset all? No. Okay. Good. I want 3 resolve, I think. 3 constitution. Maybe 2. Well, yeah, 2 constitution, 3 might. And then what else do I want? Maybe 2 dex. Do I want that, or do I want additional HP? Yeah, I'll go 331003. We'll try that. I have no idea if you can respec. Part of me is, if I had to guess, I would say no. Because Pillars of Eternity 1 was sort of infamously, for as cool, as many varied and cool builds that you could create in Pillars 1, you just could not hardly respec at all. Pillars 2 was way more lenient, but even then, it was fairly restrictive, especially by, like, contemporary standards that we see in, like, Baldur's Gate 3, where you can very easily respec pretty much almost any aspect of your character, except for their, like, I don't know, physical identity, you know? Okay, game difficulty. Oh, do we have... Oh, we've got Path of the Damned. God, we are so back, dude. We are so back. Let's read these real quick. Storytime difficulty is recommended for players who are more interested in exploration and story development rather than the challenge of combat. Combat is biased in the player's favor, right? And of course, I'm a freak who enjoys playing on stuff like Path of the Damned, but that doesn't mean that you need to be either. It's just because I'm a weirdo. I enjoy it, right? I like the torture of it, right? I like to die a lot. There's no shame in wanting to play on like an easier mode or whatever, right? There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Oh, look at that too. The icon is the old Pillars of Eternity icon. Look, those are the pillars right there. The Audra. The easy difficulty requires minimal strategization and easily forgives mistakes in combat. It is recommended for those who are new to action-based RPGs. Normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency, but forgives a few mistakes in combat. Hard difficulty is suited for action RPG players who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires strategization of stats through different equipment, abilities, and upgrades. Ah, little typo there in abilities. Abilities. Path of the Damned is only intended for players who desire the most punishing encounters. It requires mastermind strategization of builds and loadouts, and above all, perseverance. What was the name of the wild challenge that existed in Pillars 1 and 2? Where, like, you turned on even the optional, like, Mogren's fires and stuff? That's who the gun one is, Mogren. Mogren is who I'm thinking of. Gosh, it's all coming back to me. Beyond Seek! Oh my god, Beyond Seek! God, I forgot about the casting. Oh my god, all I had to hear was Beyond Seek, and immediately I'm just like, whoa, I'm taken back. Oh. Lavaru Beyond Seek! Oh my god! How long has it been? How many years has it been? Oh, fellow Pillars heads, we never thought we would be back here again. There were dark times, but we weathered the storm. Folks said that it would never happen, that we would never be back in Aora again. But here we are, baby, here we are! Golly. Alright, good, very good. Display identifier in player character sheet. Display godlike hair features in-game. NPCs will still react to your godlike features. Oh, this is stuff that we had already selected, I think. Right? Huh. Why not display it there, right? We'll upset a few people who deserve being upset. Alright, fuck them! Alright, let's see, name. Let's go here. Good. Lyle, perfect. Okay. And we'll take a quick break right about here. And when next we return, we will start up the game in full form, right? We will have on with it. We will do it. We will begin. All of that good stuff. I will take a quick restroom break in the meanwhile, in between all of this. But yeah, we will do a fade to black. See you then.